If you're 18 or in your early 20s, this video is going to change how you see money and success. You have something that people older than you wish they had. That is time. Time to make mistakes, time to invest, time to explore new things, time to fail and start again. And if you use it right, you can be so far ahead of everyone else before they even wake up. And I'm not going to give you the cliche advice that everyone else gives. I'm going to give you 5 things that I wish I knew at 18 that would have helped me hit millionaire status faster. So if you're serious about being in the top 1%, then stay tuned for the rest of this video and make sure you grab a pen and paper. And if we haven't met before, I'm Dr. Uyiosa, a doctor turned property investor who creates content on how you can use your 9 to 5 to build wealth. 1. Choosing a high paying career. I wish someone had taught me that rather than pursuing job titles, you should be pursuing income and skills. I actually used to think that you'd get your passion and interest from your job, but we are multifaceted individuals, and as you get older, you evolve and your interests and your passions change. But the key thing is, you want to create a life where you have ultimate freedom to pursue whatever it is that you're passionate about. And in order to get there, you need to have a financial cushion. And the first investor of that financial cushion is your 9 to 5 job. If you have a high paying 9 to 5 job and you're strategic about what you do with that money, you can then use that to give you your time back to do whatever you want with your passion. So when picking jobs, you want to look at what skill sets are in demand. Is it coding? Is it something in healthcare? Is it something to do with finance? Is it something to do with law? Then you want to reverse engineer. You want to look at the people who are in that field currently, look at what they did to get there, and then put yourself in position so that you can also have the experiences and the skill sets that they have had. And you also want to have an idea of how much exactly are roles in that industry going. Don't go on hearsay. There's this little fallacy when it comes to sectors like, oh, doctors in the UK make loads of money. And then you look at the stats and you're like, actually, the investment bankers in the UK, for example, are making a lot more money than doctors are. You want to do your research and see exactly how much the salaries in that field is going for. And does the pay fluctuate if you go to a different part of the world, if you are open to traveling? And you also want to think outside the box. If you're someone that doesn't want to have a 9 to 5 job forever, you want to think about whether or not your skill set can scale. So if you are someone who codes, can you take that coding skill set and create an app or create a tech company that can make 100x or 10x whatever your annual salary would be? But you want to think long term and you want to be super strategic from day one. 2, start investing. I want to be so real. When I was 18, I knew nothing about investing. I was so fixated on becoming a doctor. I could tell you everything about that. But if you had mentioned the word investing to me, I would have looked at you sideways like, what the heck are you talking about? However, if I knew what I knew now when I was 18, Bill Gates would have been shaking when he saw me, because investing at 18 is so crucial. And the reason why it's so crucial is because of that thing that I mentioned at the start of the video, which is time. When you start investing early, you have a lot more time in the market. And the more time you have in the market, the more you can benefit from a concept known as compounding. Compounding is when your money makes money and that money makes even more money for you. And the cycle goes on and on. A bit like rolling a snowball down a mountain. As it goes down the mountain, it's going to gather more and more momentum, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's so big that you have a really big snowball. Another perk of investing early is you don't actually need to put in crazy amounts because compounding does the heavy lifting for you. I'll give you a practical example. If you invested, let's say, £100 a month every single month consistently, and the average return was 8%, by the time you get to age of 30, you would have over £30,000. Whereas if you invested £100 a month at the age of 25 with an average return of 8%, at 30 you would have just over £7,000. So imagine the difference between 18 and 25 has been over £23,000, which again reinforces that time is on your side the younger you start investing. So the secret is, it's not how much you're investing, it's how long you're investing. So don't discriminate yourself if you've already got £10 or £50 or £100 at 18 or however old you are. You just need to start now. 3, travel to learn. I will caveat this by saying that traveling is a huge privilege. So if you do have the means to travel somewhere different, then do it. If it's not a different country, it could be a different part of your town, it could be a different part of the country that you are in. But traveling is crucial because of something known as exposure. When you go to somewhere different, you are exposed to different people, you are exposed to different things, different lifestyles, different ways in which things are done, and those things will challenge you. When someone says you can only do something one way, if you've been exposed to a different way of it being done, you can challenge that thought. By going to different countries, you will realize that there's different job opportunities. There are some countries that pay more for a certain skill, and when you travel to different places, you'll also get exposure to different lifestyles. There are some parts of a country that are super fast paced, and there are other parts that are a lot more slower, and you can use that to work out which one's better suited to you. You'll also be able to see different opportunities. They might be a country that is up and coming when it comes to development, and you can store that in your brain, and then when you have the means to, if an opportunity arises, you can take advantage of that. Going to different places, honestly speaking, opened your minds to what is possible. And if you're someone who doesn't have the means of traveling to learn, there are other things that you can do to increase your exposure. For me, before I started traveling, I had an interest in cars, and so I just followed my interest in cars. And in doing that, I realized that some people have a crazy amount of money because they can drop 100k on a Porsche as if nothing has happened. And in realizing that, it made me do a deep dive. What are people doing to be able to have 100k liquid cash to be able to get a car on a random Tuesday? In following that journey, I learned so much about the different sectors and the different job opportunities that there are available. So whatever you can do to expand your perspective, do it. Or say yes to random things. Say yes to the random part-time job, the random side hustle, the random internship, because experience is key. When you say yes to new things, you are exposing yourself to new experiences, and those experiences are teaching you something. They're teaching you more about you. What things you like, what things you dislike, what things make you tick, what things you couldn't care less about. And all of these things will help you make an informed decision about what you want to do later on with your life. And another thing about experience is, indirectly, by doing them, you're building your skills. And the aim of the game is to be the ultimate skill stacker. And as someone who is a skill stacker has loads of random unique skills, but when they put it together, it makes them exceptional in their field. And when you are exceptional, you become someone that is valuable to recruiters, to business owners. By being a person of value, it means that money will follow shortly after, because money goes towards things that are valuable. So I want you to take advantage of being young and just experimenting. And if you do that experience, that random thing, and it doesn't work out, I promise you it's not the end of the world, because you've picked up a skill, you've gained an insight into who you are as an individual, and all of those things will mean that by the time you get to your 30s and 40s, you are going to be unstoppable. 5, getting a credit card. Now, before we get into this one, I want to caveat it by saying a credit card can make or break the rest of your life. So it's not a decision that you should take lightly. And I know that that sounds really dramatic, but credit cards are a very quick way to get into debt if you do not have the right financial structures and procedures in place. And I've got loads of videos which I will put in the description box for you to watch before you think about getting a credit card. However, if I could go back in time and I had the insights that I knew now, then when it comes to budgeting and paying your credit card off in full and avoiding late payments and avoiding interest, I would get a rewards-based credit card. And a rewards-based credit card means that whenever you spend £1, you get a point in return. And the reason why I love reward-based credit cards so much, because when you accumulate loads of points, you can redeem them for things that you love. I love redeeming my points for travel. I flew business class to Thailand, and I didn't spend however much it would have cost you to get business class tickets. I paid a fraction of the price, and I honestly had the best time. And I just know that if I had a rewards-based credit card at 18, I would have so much more points now. My travel cost would be so much less, and you would only see me in business class and first class. Yeah, if I knew what I knew now about credit cards at 18, I would have been an early American Express baddie, honestly speaking. So I'm not saying that everyone watching this video should go and get a credit card. Please assess your financial situation, speak to a financial advisor, because like I said, it can be really dangerous. However, if used properly, trust me, your travel experiences can be 10x whatever they are now for a fraction of the price. So in short, if I could speak to my 18-year-old self, I would tell her, hun, you want to pick a high-paying career so the income can fund early retirement, and then you can do whatever you want with your time after. I would also tell her to start investing early, because compounding will work in your favor because you've just got more time. I would tell her to explore, travel with purpose, say yes to opportunities, and if she had the knowledge that I have now at 18, get a reward-based credit card so you can stack all of those points and get discounted travel. Let me know in the comments what you think about what I would have said to myself at 18, and if there's anything else that you would add to the list. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the subscribe button now so you can see my latest upload, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.